Hello, I'm Kylie Holmes, and today I'm going to be talking about self-care prioritization in students. What is self-care? Self-care consists of maintaining our physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Adulting consists of fulfilling the obligations of our everyday lives. My research is going to analyze how college students are making their well-being a priority amid juggling their adult responsibilities. The study will aim to see how the students from both classes cope with their everyday stressors and manage them effectively. The study is being conducted because students must know what tools are needed to handle their academic and personal responsibilities. And at the end of the day, it will make them a better person. The article supports this by saying, finally, successful self-care practice requires a conscious, mindful commitment to self, to one's well-being and happiness. Consequently, it is valuable to consider how you can support yourself in following your plan. A self-care routine plan can consist of you doing yoga on Monday, journaling, or breathing exercises, for example. The research of 21 college students in their early 20s is aimed to determine how they sustain their mental health while dealing with challenges. The data from the students will be measured with self-report surveys and statistical methods. Background. Self-care includes ensuring that you know when you're feeling extreme stress or overwhelmness, when it starts to affect your everyday life and you feel like you can't function normally. According to the source, the important personal elements for burnout include health, self-understanding, coping, changing your work patterns, and social support from your friends or family. The students implement this method in the form of creating a plan or doing mindfulness exercises, for example, to reduce their stress levels. The ACHA stated that 61% of graduate students report more than average or tremendous stress, which is higher than aforementioned rate of 55% among all college students. The statement explains how stressors heavily affect students, and it shows why it's essential for us to check in with our mental health every day. College students need to continually work towards adding resources that result in a healthy lifestyle. According to Bamonte, this definition implies an array of potential activities that can fall under self-care, like healthy eating, exercising, mindfulness, engaging in hobbies or leisurely activities, maintaining a healthy sleep schedule, and using adaptive coping strategies. And also, the statement is describing what we can participate in to be the best version of ourselves at the end of the day and thrive. The research question and hypothesis. My hypothesis, the graduate students has a significant difference in self-care compared to the undergraduate students. And the alternative is that the graduate students does not have a significant difference compared to the undergraduate students. And my research question, how does managing one's self-care play a role in the way we maintain our adulting obligations? Methods. There were 21 college students, including 11 graduate students from Psych 507 and 10 undergraduate students from Psych 208, who engaged in self-care activities. The students were given a self-report questionnaire that consisted of 6 questions, and they had to rate themselves on a scale from 1 to 5 on engaging in self-care activities. The participants in this study completed the self-report questionnaire, rated themselves, and stated how they agreed or disagreed with the statements about self-care routine. The data from the questionnaire allowed us to see how participants value their self-care and what they did to preserve it, or where they see themselves in regards to each self-care aspect. Results. The independent t-test was used here with 2 samples to measure the difference between the results of the undergraduate and graduate students. The data showed that undergraduate students had a mean of 3.79 and a standard deviation of 0.645, which was a higher score than the graduate students, who had a mean of 3.76 and a standard deviation of 0.341. The results are not significant because the p-value isn't higher than 0.05. So for this point, we reject the null hypothesis. And overall, the study revealed that undergraduate students' self-care management was higher than that of the graduate students based on the data, which we thought were the graduate students were going to have a higher self-care routine than the undergraduate students. But the results showed different. The t-test showed that there was no significance between the 2 classes' scores. And the purpose was to identify the factors that influence how college students properly maintain their mental health as they tackle everyday tasks. And the research expanded on the different methods the students can incorporate for their well-being. And the articles provided information as well to my research, showing statistical data that measured college students' level of self-care. Future research. The research could address limitations in the future and try to get rid of any bias that could affect the data. The first limitation is that in a self-reported survey, participants could not be honest about where they see themselves on the scale when it comes to them taking care of themselves, which could majorly affect how the data will be seen and the accuracy of the scores. Another limitation is that students might need help getting the proper sources to engage in a self-care routine. Some individuals might not have the amount of money to go to a yoga class or to go journaling or do different activities at the end of the day, or have enough time to make a routine. They might spend a lot of time at work or have other extracurricular activities that's getting in the way. And finally, future research can expand upon the various types of sample groups, which can lead to more data. Also, it can look at how people view self-care in their own words and how they practice self-care, which can make a huge difference in the study because we can all have different interpretations of self-care and how we engage in it. References, and this is the end. Thank you for your time, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.